What is the most savage thing a teacher has ever said to you? After getting hit in the eye with a softball during P, and almost being knocked the out. An amp, #X200B. An amp, #X200B. He said to me, son, it could have been worse. Could have been my eye. Sounds like you got physically educated, smiley face. Not me, but a classmate of mine who put on his sunglasses in class. Take off those sunglasses. Your future ain't that bright. Got a crazy teacher that wears dark glasses. We were sitting around at the end of shop class just talking until the bell rang. One student asked the teacher if he knew how to get 4 guys to sit on a stool. The teacher didn't know, so the student turned over his stool so all 4 legs were pointing up. We all laughed, and then the teacher said they had the same joke back in his day, except it was about how to get 4 sorority girls to sit on a stool. The student thought that version was way better and started laughing even harder. Then the teacher says, "Isn't your sister a sorority girl?" The look on the student's face was priceless. And that's the story on how incest was created. Not me, but my best friend. In social studies, the teacher was giving a lecture and my friend, let's call him Jared, was talking to some friends at the back of the room. Monsieur, he said something about his, as high school kids do. Well, from the front of the class comes a real snappy line from the teacher. This is social studies, Jared, not microbiology. He dead F for respects. F. In high school, the yearbook committee did a thing where we went to different teachers and asked where they saw random seniors in 10 years' time, and put the quotes in the yearbook. When I gave the name of one of my friends to our English teacher, she simply said jail. Was she wrong? Yup. He never had any legal trouble at all, and currently works on nuclear stuff at a shipyard. He's one of those good old boys who's way smarter than he would ever let on, and she just hated him for some reason. After building trebuchets to launch golf balls in physics, we were doing our tests and someone's went off center on a swing and threw a ball in my direction, hitting me in the head surprisingly hard. Seeing me grabbing my head and bleeding, my teacher laughs and says, maybe it'll fix the part of your brain that makes you like you are. Under such circumstances, the instructor clearly believed you were a good sport. Oh, 100%. I had a good rapport with him and we joked around quite a bit when opportunity presented itself, but that was by far the most savage he had pulled on me. I never did get to him back for that one, so it's safe to say he's the winner of our joke battle. I once got a look at my teacher's seating chart. He wrote meathead next to my name. He had been one of my favorite teachers up until that point. If he liked you, then that was probably a joke of his, an inside joke that only he got. One of my football buddies got his essay back, and the teacher put the mark, and F4D or whatever in the top corner, then drew on the topper, football play. Except instead of the end zone he labeled it the failure zone, and showed my friend ending up there. An amp, #X200B. Upon hearing groans following an instruction to get into groups or whatever. Christ, you want some cheese to go with that wine? Just move. Upon receiving an essay report with almost 0 punctuation. This in Lieutenant, writing in GT, is so bad it should be on toilet paper. It's textual diarrhea. It gave me pink AA just to look at it. When students complain that this is boring, boredom is a thing that happens in your head. So there are no boring activities, only boring people. Lift your game, Tyler. Oh, you lost your pen. I teach. What's my job? Right. And you lose things. What does that make you? This teacher is an absolute legend. The reason I gave you the role of the dog is cause you bitched about the assignments. Edit. Just cause you all upvoted this so much, I will give more details. It's for the men's choir performance. For this upcoming one, we all will have little things to do and one of the songs is filled with jokes. We haven't preformed it yet, but when the recording is on YouTube, I will link it here when I can. Ask any questions and I will answer them the best I can without spoiling the performance. That's an epic put down, because if you complain about the role you're just bitching again. For our Christmas concert I was playing first cornet and I neglected to wear completely black shoes. When my brass instructor found out, he fixed me with one of the most intense, burning glares and stated, "You are an absolute disgrace," in a cold tone that was dripping with disappointment and barely repressed rage. He was my favorite teacher, who was a super chill guy I looked up to and respected a lot, but music teachers on concert nights. A completely different beast. I was a freshman in marching band, timid as was second to last chair flute. I was doing my damnedest to do exactly everything that was asked of me. In parade block I hear the director yell, "Keep it up, Waffle Foxes." I got this huge stupid grin on my face. The director knew my name and said I was doing a good job. Then I hear, "No, I mean you're behind in the line. Keep it up." I have rarely went from so stupidly pleased to embarrassed in my life. You should really wear socks. It's disgusting not to. Then she gave me a pack of Hanes men's socks. Word got around the school, and I was bullied relentlessly. I gave my last clean, not whole-filled pair to my little brother that morning so he could play at recess in the cold Iowa winter and not be too chilly. So you Mrs. Wilkinson, I wish I had gold for you. It would match your heart. Once my PE teacher said that they have mirrors in the gym to check your posture. I said no, it's to take photos and flex. Then he said, "You've got nothing to show off." Not to me but my PE teacher once told a boy in the changing rooms, before we went out for football, to take all his jewelry off. He had about 2 chains on his neck, an earring and maybe some more stuff. I can't remember, but it was hilarious to have the teacher say, "Who you trying to be, Mr. T or something?" in front of all the boys in his class. Guidance counselor while simultaneously looking over my transcripts and aptitude test scores. "Well, it looks like you're a classic underachiever." And GT, "Well, it looks like you're a classic underachiever." I suppose it's better than saying you were stupid. It could be taken as the guidance counselor saying that you had the ability to achieve, but chose not to. Of course, it could have been said in a more tactful way. After finishing my lap of the field for rugby training and giving out times for the team, my coach teacher said I would have timed you emergency berry, but I didn't bring my calendar. "You, peel boy, you are going to fail in life." Must tickle 7th grade English teacher. You must tickle. Life has been pretty amazing and I didn't even have to lure 13-year-olds into my Toyota Previa with McDonald's to get. You sure showed her. You lured him with Five Guys, like a true gentleman. Lol, the only good thing at Five Guys is their spicy fries. It would be interesting to see where Must Tickle is today. Pray for me, I'm about to dive into a Facebook search. I'm getting so many good ideas. Keep them coming, guys. Imagine these comments being delivered with an extra amount of caffeine and hatred. It wasn't said to me directly but rather done to me. I'm a female with a male middle name. We had at least 4 other girls in the class with the same first name as me, so I volunteered to be called by my middle name. By the time I got home, a male teacher had called my mom to tell her I wanted to be referred to by my male name, as if to say there was something wrong with that. Neither were towards me. But my history teacher was a madman with his savagery. I was chewing gum and a girl put her hand up and snitched on me for it. He looked at her and said, "This is why people bully you." Later that year he got into an argument with some dickhead in my class who was trying to be badass. The kid straight up paraphrased Bruce Banner and said, "Don't me off. You dead would hate me pissed off." The legend that was Mr. Summers replied, "I hate you anyway. Get out." Wait, I had a history teacher named Mr. Summers that was a savage human and amp #X200B. Did he have a poster in his room that he banged his head on when the class was being annoying? Yeah, he did. I can't put it any simpler. Ha ha, I still laugh at that one. The best part about this one is I doubt the person to whom it was directed even registered it as an insult, and was just mad that the teacher was bad at explaining stuff. I repeated a sexist joke my friend told me to my other friend in 7th grade. I think it was like, "Why don't women need a license? There's no road from the kitchen to the bedroom, monsieur." My teacher asked me to repeat what I said in front of the whole class. So me being a smart repeated the joke with a smirk. Teacher: "Naughty trouser snake, do you have a girlfriend?" Me: "No." Teacher: "That's what I thought. Now sit down." I didn't say anything because she was pretty intimidating. Even though I'm witty, I'm sure she would have quit right back even meaner. But I wish I had said something clever like bringing up her recent divorce and say, "Maybe you should have traveled that road more often. You got me that one time, Ms. Girlinger." Hey, I tried something like this once, and the teen said, "No, but I have a boyfriend and he's super hot." I don't ask that question anymore. Suddenly gay. Don't bother showing up for the exam because you can't pass the class. I showed up, got 103% because of extra credit questions, and passed the class with a 51/100ths. You can pass a class with a 50? Isn't that an F? I'm not American. Our education system kinda sucks. I basically did no classwork or homework but aced my tests and exams all year. I proved that despite not giving a about the class, one knew what they were teaching. 49 would have been an F. 50 is like a D-. I really like you as a person, but I hate you as a student. My French teacher told me this when I was in high school, during this period where I was really depressed and self-destructive and on the verge of flunking out. Having her be so honest with me and pointing out that I was wasting my potential, but at the same time saying I was a good person, made me want to do better, and eventually I did. I forgot the name of the book, but back in 4th grade we were reading this book about a kid who had to survive on his own in a cabin in the forest while waiting for the return of his father. Well, this being elementary school, they were doing that. Teacher assigns you a few pages and you have to read it out loud exercise. And I got the last few pages where the kid reunites with his dad. So the segment was something like his kid seeing his dad out in the distance and he waves him down while shouting, "Pa, PA." Now I wasn't sure if the teacher wanted me to literally shout those lines in class, so I did a half-assed paw, PAAAAAW kind of talk shout, but apparently that wasn't enough for the teacher, who had suddenly decided he's going to be the director of this little play that was going on in his head, cause he looked at me and in front of everyone said, "Come on Mike, you can do better than that. Your dad was literally in a car accident last month. Put some emotion into it." Yay. Reminding a 9-year-old about that one day his dad was late picking him up from school because he was in a car accident that almost killed him. Not the best thing to do if you're a teacher. LMAO, dude, you're a victim too. Act like it. Make me believe it. This one guy in my class was whistling and she said, "You're not gifted in music, so stop it." Lol. I was performing a song during music class once and I put my heart and soul into it, certain I'm gonna ace it, only to get a, "Well, you tried," as a response. So discouraging. Haha.